There's an old saying, the time value of money benefits the young, but the young don't appreciate the time value of money. At PFR, our mission is to change this narrative. We know the first 10 years of your prime earning years are critical to your long-term wealth. The time value of money is so powerful, but even if you're older, there is still time to implement a great investment strategy. We explore robo-advisors as a cornerstone to your investment strategy. We explore this by telling a story. This story explores how Bob implements the investment barbell strategy as the essential framework to drive his long-term wealth. We will show how robo-advisors are foundational to the IBS strategy. But first, my name is Jeff Hulett. I'm a decision confidence builder. I'm a behavioral economist and have been in banking and financial services most of my career. I'm also a faculty member at James Madison University, and I lead Personal Finance Reimagined, a decision-making and financial education platform. I admit, this story about Bob is only a starting point. You can learn more and get access to our decision apps by picking up my book. You can find Making Choices, Making Money on the Personal Finance Reimagined website or on Amazon. This story starts with Bob. Bob is a lot like you. Bob got out of school a few years back. He doesn't have much saved yet, but he has a good job and works hard. He heard about robo-advisors from a friend and has watched a few videos. Professor Hulett at PFR does a nice job explaining investments. It is time for Bob to get serious about implementing his strategy with a robo-advisor. This is his story. Let's start with an investment barbell strategy refresher. This comes from Personal Finance Reimagined. Bob wants to consider the two essential risk elements, volatility and diversification. When we put these two elements together, they create the four quadrants of the investment barbell strategy. Notice the upper left one is called Robo. This is for robo-advisors, the subject of this month's vidcast, and to help Bob get on the right track. Last month, we discussed housing, which falls in the real quadrant in the lower right. It all fits together. Now, let's dig into these two risk elements. First, we have diversification. Diversification is the degree to which an investment component, like a company, can impact the overall value of an investment. The more companies or components we invest in, the higher the diversification. A robo-advisor in the robo segment or quadrant is highly diversified. That is why it's on the left side of the diversification element. Not all your investments need to be diversified, but the robo is. Now, let's shift gears to volatility. Volatility is the degree to which an investment varies above or below the average value of that investment. The more the investment varies from the average, the higher the volatility. A robo-advisor can be highly volatile, but it can be set to being less volatile. In our investment barbell strategy, to get the full value of the strategy, we do suggest as much volatility as you can stomach. It is important to be honest about your volatility threshold. We will show how Bob determines his volatility threshold very soon. The robo-advisor is an important tool for properly exposing Bob to volatility, but only if Bob has the proper time frame and diversification. Think about time, volatility, and diversification as safety measures, and you only want to take risk on one of those three safety measures. Robos are a great example. When Bob takes risk by increasing volatility, he will be safe because he reduces exposure based on diversification and his investment time frame is long. Time is the third risk element. We've not really discussed much yet, but time is critical for when Bob or anyone else takes high volatility risk in a diversified portfolio. And when I say time frame, I'm thinking decades, not months. Time heals wounds from volatility, but only if that time frame goes beyond a single business cycle, usually 7 or more years. let's discuss Bob's risk personality. Assessing his risk personality will help Bob understand his ability to handle volatility. While seeking exposure to volatility makes sense in the IBS framework, being true to yourself is most important. Not to worry, over time as Bob learns more and gets more comfortable, his risk personality will evolve. So it is good to update your risk assessment every year or so. Above, I'm showing a volatility risk assessment from Wealthfront, one of the robo-advisors I work with. The risk assessment is super easy. It's only 2 questions. Check out the QR code if you want to give it a try. Most robo-advisors have a risk assessment tool. So now you see how the robo fits into Bob's investment strategy and how he assesses his risk tolerance. Next week, we will get into more of the robo setup details. I will also discuss some of the robos I like and, frankly, some I don't like so much. Not all robos are the same. But until next time, you've got this.